Hello, welcome to Arcadia, the best place to chill with friends and get your game goodness each and every Monday. My name's Dylan Blight, and joining me on the couch this week, Ashley Helber.
Hey, John, excited to be here in a week where everybody's talking about Game Award nominations. That's all it's been talking about.
That's right. You dive into your names and doing your name divers.
It was snubbed, Dylan. Snubbed. Dave the Diver. Snubbed.
I gotta be honest, we talked a little bit about this on Platinum Explosion. It feels like a week ago. And people
yes, it does, actually.
It does actually
this
feel like so
whole
long
week
ago.
feels fucking forever ago, honestly. Just, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also here, Kieran Marchant.
Hello, it's I.
It is I?
It is I. It is. It is.
He is him.
He is high. Hi.
Who is
He's high? Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wild episode, guys.
Has anyone brought anything from Black Friday sales already? Let's go with that.
Nah, I'm currently trying to search for what I actually want from my, you know what, mum was asking me, what do you want for Christmas? All the way back like a month ago. And I was like, holy
January.
shit. I was like, it was like over a month ago. And I was like, man, I don't have a fucking clue. I bought myself time. I was like, you know what? Wait till Black Friday sales and I'll have something by then, you know? Fuck, I ain't got shit. I've narrowed it down. I think there's aspects with me potentially moving house in the next month that I'm like, I might need this or this.
Like plates.
No,
forks.
nothing like that at all. No. I am wanting to optimize my 600 megabyte internet connection to the most. And whether that's a new motherboard or a new router I need, I'll figure it out.
Just a really great long Ethernet cable.
Look, Look, we're going to the fucking moon with this new internet connection, and I am going to strap in and ride it all the way, you know?
I was like, that's the most, like, Kieran's like moving house, like plates and stuff's like, well, it's like, all right, I'm moving house. Mum, can I have a motherboard?
I have a motherboard on my PC so I can run gigabit internet properly. Nah, I've already got that for when I previously lived. This is so between the cushions conversation, but like, I've got a lot of that shit, and I'm moving with my sister, so she has a lot of that shit. So it's like, yeah.
Kieran returns to internet.
Look, if realtors, if for whatever reason you're listening to my podcast right now, if you could just approve an application that I put in out of like the 10 or 12 in the last week, this week, so that I can get on top of Black Friday internet deals and internet sales, that'd be sick. Thank you.
What do you mean internet? There's like
Telstra's doing like $1 for the first month and stuff like that.
Gotcha,
Yeah. I want to get on top of those.
What brand?
That's Telstra.
Oh, Telstra, right? Okay,
Yeah.
Heard of them?
Heard of them?
That brand?
They're not the other one. They're not Optus. You know, the one that
I'm well aware of Telstra. Don't worry. I'm well aware. All right, let's get into it. So I want to start the.
I'll just say, if you want some Black Friday deals, you should go to explosionhour.com where there's a bunch of articles about all the great Black Friday deals.
True, yeah.
People can.
I feel like I brought up this to plug that and then completely forgot. But yeah, so there's an article on explosionhour.com. It's pinned basically everywhere, no matter what page you got at this stage. So I'm just updating that as the week continues on. And I've set it up so you can like click on a name and then like jump around the whole page between brands and stuff like that. So yeah, check that out.
Buy some shit. Affiliate
links are involved. I'm completely honest. Disclaimer, it's in the post. Affiliate links are involved, but
which is even
if you're gonna buy that, if you're gonna buy that shit anyway, do it via one of my links. Cost you the same amount, but we get some money. So
give us a couple of them Bezos bucks, you know. Toss them over here. Toss a coin to your podcaster.
Why not? All right, Indie World Showcase happened this week, so I want to run through this. I believe I highly doubt Kieran watched this one. I even doubt Ash. Did you?
I forgot to watch.
That's fine.
I believe out of the three of us, it is your bit to like indie stuff.
It is my bit, yeah. So obviously, this is my this is my time to shine. So Nintendo announced and had an indie showcase in about the usual like announce and do it 48 hours. I'll run down just stop the ones that interested me the most, but I thought there was some interesting stuff here nonetheless. So they started the show of Shantae Advance Risky Revolution. Not really for me, but I think it's interesting that this was a Game Boy Advance game that was shut down, and now the core developers Way Forward Games have gone back and finished it, and it's coming to Nintendo Switch, which is kind of cool for Shantae fans. Core Keeper is coming out. The game looks wild. It's coming out winter next year, but 8 players dungeon crawling and farming and mining, and there are lots going on that. On Your Tail, I really like this game. So this is going to be a time exclusive for the Nintendo Switch, something coming in 2024. It's like a detective game, but like all the characters like anamorphic. Fucking hell, yeah. Like characters and stuff, and they all looked really cool. So I like the look of this one. How then got announced. This is the one I mentioned to Ash the other day, actually off podcast, I think, where I was saying he should probably download a demo and give it a go. So it's got like really beautiful art, like hand drawn pictures and stuff, but it's set to like folklore sort of setting, Riding Hood, wolves and shit like that. And it's a turn-based folklore game where you're like sort of you have to like set up and like your character action of like Riding Hood. Well, I don't know if that's actually supposed to be. It's not actually Riding Hood, but you like select and like everything sort of plays out at once. It looks pretty cool. I downloaded a demo, haven't had a chance to play it yet, but then we got the star named Eos got a new trailer. So this is now coming out, launching on Nintendo Switch autumn 2024. This is the next game from the people who did Behind the Frame, which is the game that looks like it's Studio Ghibli art, but it's not. Very different. So that game was about painting. This game is about taking pictures, diving into stories behind them and stuff like that. It still looks very, very beautiful, especially in the cutscenes and stuff. Backpack Hero. Oh, by the way, that Howl game was a shadow drop, and then Backpack Hero also came out on the same day that they said it was here. This I'd never heard of before, but it's such a wild concept to me. I just think it's very funny. So it's like usually in most games, backpack inventory management is like just a thing you have to put up with, and it's like it's not really something anyone gets excited about. But then someone's decided to build an entire game around inventory management. But you go into these like rogue dungeons or whatever, and you're crawling through them. But the way you organize your backpack is like a puzzle for how your character will automatically do the battles and stuff like that. So very cool, very interesting. I've skimmed some reviews I've dropped for it and stuff, and most people seem to say it's really cool. So definitely different. Blade Chimera then got announced. It's a game in which you have a demon in your sword, which I wouldn't say is the first, but is usually pretty cool. Nonetheless, Metroidvania looks decent. A Highland song. This was one of my highlights from the show. Finally got a release date, December 5th, launching on Nintendo Switch. This is the one where you're exploring the Scottish Highlands, and you listen to nice music and talk to characters, and it's got really pretty art. And yeah, I'm keen. Been keen since the release date. So happy it's going to drop before the end of the year. We got Moonstone Island is coming, timed exclusive Nintendo Switch, or the console timed exclusive basically. It's already out in Steam like a couple months ago, but yeah, it's another well-reviewed, cute life sim game. But in this you collect spirits and basically they're Pokemon, but then you battle with them in like a card. It's like it's got card-based combat, it's got life sim shit, talking to characters, crafting stuff, puzzles. I don't know, it's like a million different genres in very cute pixel art, so it's cool. Death Trick Double Blind. This is another like mystery game. This one looked like a straight up whodunit though, visual novel aspect and stuff like that. Where like the circus setting for this one I thought was cool, so would be keen to find out more. Outer Wilds Archaeologist Edition finally got a release date, even though they announced this was coming to Switch about 20 years ago, I feel. But it's coming out December 7th, 2024? No, 2023. 23. I wrote the wrong number here. It's coming out this year. It's coming out next month. Physical version of the game is coming out next year. They then did a big old smorgasbord splash of things to end the show. Planet of Lana is coming to Switch autumn 2024. Enjoy the Dinner is out now, February 2024 for Heavenly Bodies if you want to play that on Switch. The Gecko Gods coming Switch autumn 2024. Passportort 2, The Lost Artist is available now on Switch. Urban Myth Dissolution Center is coming 2024. And Braid Anniversary Edition. If you've never played Braid, the game's like fucking 50 million years old. That's coming April 30th, 2024 to Switch next year. So a decent little indie showcase to end out 2024 with some highlights in there. But yeah, my main thing would be I'm keen for Highland song. Keen for that one. I know a lot of people, and the reason they ended the show on it is that lots of people are excited to play Outer Wilds on Switch. Again, as good as that game is, and I fully appreciate everything it's doing, my brain can just not I cannot handle that game's like just it's too much. It's too much for me, but maybe for you. All right. Some downer news from that. So from exciting games to unfortunate closure of a studio, but is what it is. So sad news from Shonen Studio. Samurai Punk has announced they're shutting their doors. The team's first major game was Screen Cheat, which was fairly popular among creators and stuff. The team also released American Dream, a VR game, Roomba, First Blood, Feather, Trios, Justice Sucks, and then most recently released Killbug, fast-paced FPS. They also helped port games like Florence and co-developed Table of Tales, The Crooked Crown in 2019. Quote from the post, Samurai Punk started in 2014 during a situation in Australia where jobs were short, and the only route forward for us was either found a company or move overseas to find work. We banded together with Share Golf, creating exciting and fresh game experiences, and we're incredibly proud of what we were able to achieve together. Since then, we've grown a lot as developers and learned a lot about what we want as artists making video games. So, I thought that sort of came out of nowhere and sucks and everything like that. I feel like Samurai Punk was like one of the older Australian dev teams. So, but yeah, sucks. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they'll move on to great things, and then it'll be looked back upon as this. Hey, it was a moment in time.
It's just kind of crazy. Like they're at PAX like only a month ago, and now they've gone
literally had like 3 or 4. Like they had Killbug on show, and some of their like classics on show as well. People were playing,
so disappointing.
Yeah, there was no like real reason, like outside of just like. Obviously not the height of success or whatever. I like how when they put up a post like to a doc just with everyone that worked there, the 5-6 people, just with their contact, their emails and everything for people. So I thought that was cool. All right, swinging back the other direction again. Good news. The amount of times we talk about shitty layoffs and stuff like that, I was like, I don't feel like there's much to talk about this other than going, hey, that's cool, but I feel like we should at least say that. Nintendo Life says. Atlus, the developer behind the Persona and Shin Megami Tensei franchises, has announced that it's raising the average annual salary for employees by 15%. In a stark contrast to the seemingly endless layoffs hitting the industry of late, new graduates at Atlus will see their starting salary rise by 300,000 yen. It's about $1,977, and all employees will see an annual salary rise of 15%. In a translated press release, thanks to game developer, Atlus states that the move is to ensure that the company can attract and retain talent as it, quote, promotes global expansion, end quote. In addition, thanks to strong overseas performance, Atlus has also introduced performance bonuses funded by worldwide profits, a move it initially kickstarted in fiscal year 2021. The press release itself states, quote, the starting salary of new graduates will increase from 257,000 yen to 300,000 yen. And the average annual income of current employees will raise by 15%. In addition, due to strong overseas business development, we have been providing performance-based bonuses on profits and worldwide sales fiscal 2021. Yeah, so good on them. The only team, the only news story I could think of for this entire year that is developer is, studio is giving more money to people, to its employees.
They're not doing some crappy, like, making people work harder or making people crunch or anything like that. Yeah. And it's also, it's surprising that it is of any of the like, it's Atlus. It's kind of surprising because I guess Japanese businessman kind of stereotype is just you get run into the ground. And the company expects it of you in Japanese culture just to run you into the ground and to actually see them up their average salary is kind of impressive in terms of, and kind of very sad when you look at everywhere else that's laying people off. And
I don't know if that sounds exclusive to Japanese culture. It sounds like every culture.
No, but I guess it's far more built into Japanese culture than it is built into like it's just, whereas people,
I think the loyalty
else,
elements of
stick
it out at a job that does that is more common in Japanese culture. But this makes sense. Atlus has been hugely successful, especially after the release of Persona 5. Like everything they've released post that has been doing reasonably good numbers and that kind of stuff. I mean, within Japanese culture, it's like more common to like reward your employees rather than hold all your money and try and build up your stock profile. So, yeah, that's great.
Cool. Just as another for people who are ever interested as the growing weird. And as we slowly move towards 2014, and I don't 2015, sorry, no, 2024. What year is it? What year are we in? 2024. The video game layoffs.com. I don't know if anyone's seen this website floating around. They've started just the fact that there's now a website, just video game layoffs.com is a thing. They've literally just been like gathering all the studios layoffs, the number of people and stuff like that. Some interesting. So the estimated total of 2023 layoffs in total, 7,800 people for the total year. The breakdown of largest impacts sorted by the parent company, Embracer Group, 904 people, Unity, 900, Epic, 830, Amazon, 715, and Electronic Arts coming in at 355 are the breakdown of that. So this is just a massive list of the I know I'm laughing, it's terrible, but it's just like the fact that there's a website is, a thing. So, and the last update was only a couple days ago when Embracer Group gave 904 people restructuring. So yeah. So, all of that, but shout outs to Atlus.
No, I mean, the last one's Amazon Games, obviously, they're doing a bunch of jump cuts because, that's been a failed investment.
Yeah. I like it's a very like basic website, but I like it too because it's just like,
it's just
estimates or question marks or whatever. And it's just like, it's literally just studio, date, number of people affected, parent company, the type of company it is, and the source. And the source is either most of the time LinkedIn, a Twitter post from the company, or like a story from a reputable outlet. So if you're at any at all interest in keeping up with that side of the video game industry, that website which popped up recently, very good. Kept that one on my notes. All right, talking about Atlus, talking about Persona, I've been playing a little bit of Persona 5 Tactica, which is not an indie game, Karen.
Whoa.
I've been playing on my Nintendo Switch. Does that count?
Atlus, they're pretty good, I think,
Well, you play on Nintendo Switch? Damn. That's that's probably you don't play on your Rogger?
No. I feel like when I asked for a code, I got asked what platform. I straight away just said Switch because it kept getting advertised as like in my mind it was basically a Switch game. Like
but it's on Game Pass.
Was always, I know it is, but just the advertising was always Switch. There was always in directs and stuff, and like that seems like the kind of game I want to play handheld. I didn't even think about it.
You didn't even think about the Rogger. You have betrayed your Rogger on this day.
It's true.
I think it does scream handheld a little bit.
I'm enjoying it. I don't know, 3-4 hours in or something like that. Story's good. The story weirdly takes place during the main game. So it's like
of course it does.
Yeah.
Well, I guess with the ending it can't. The ending doesn't really. It would undo.
I believe Strikers was the sequel, wasn't it?
Yeah, Strikers was a sequel though. It was like he came back, Joker came back.
Okay.
And they've done that with like Persona. They've done that with Persona 4 and stuff too, like where the dancing games and stuff is like, the character's visiting.
Yeah, they just got Yeah.
It's school holidays. They're back. They're visiting. Something happens. Like it's usually the thing. But so I wasn't sure what this one would be. But it actually takes place about, I think, roughly based on what they're talking about starting about 3/4 way, maybe through the actual core campaign. Also, the new character from Royal isn't here, so it's just very much like core cast of characters of the Phantom.
The originals.
Yeah.
I wonder why they made that a choice. I wonder why they just
accessible.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. But you could definitely not play this game without having played Persona. You just like the game when it starts, it just expects you to know every single character, who they are, why there's a cat talking.
Roughly which point in Persona 5 does this game take place?
Well, that's the thing. It just seemed like no. It's they don't give you enough information to pinpoint. It's just all of the groups
before or
together
after Akechi
would be after.
It'd be way after. Like it would be because if you've got all the group members.
Yeah, no, that's
like
the first
it's
person,
like
right?
later.
So
Akechi's like the first.
This is I was trying to remember the person. No, this would be in my mind. It takes place somewhere between when all of the Phantom Thieves have gathered. They're all together, but before the ending of the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
So who voices the guy in the Velvet Room? The original dude or the new dude?
No, so far it's just the girl in there.
Well, it depends as well. Is Dylan playing in English or Japanese?
I'm playing in English. Yeah.
Damn.
So, but also the old guy isn't there.
Yeah.
It's just the girl, the
twins?
secretaries. Or
It would
twins,
almost
but only one of them.
be a little weird if the old guy was there, considering what you know out of.
Yeah, so the old guy's not there.
Yeah.
I don't really understand. So and again, the game just starts. It's like, here's all these characters. They're talking about being phantom thieves, something, and then talking about a metaverse. It's all very like, if you don't understand what any of this stuff means, you're just like going to be fucking lost. So I'm like 3-4 hours in, no explanations given so far, but they're like sitting around in old mate's cafe where they all, the base of operations, and then some weird shit happens, and they basically are dragged into the metaverse in some form. There's like a weird fucking lady who's like driving around in a recently wanting to be married like car or whatever, typical sort of like weird villain for Persona or whatever inside the metaverse. And then some other character turns up and was like, oh, I'm part of the resistance, we're like trying to fight back against this lady. The game starts with every character apart from Joker and I'm forgetting every character's name. What is the cat's name? What is
Morgana.
The cat's name? Morgana. So every character apart from Joker and Morgana being mind controlled by the villain. So then so far the first few hours of the game is you're doing missions to get back to the Phantom Thieves. And then eventually I feel like the game's going to be like take down the villain sort of thing. But it's a classic like get back your teammates sort of thing. Story is good though. Like, not to say the story. Well, hold on. Like, the story's not good. It's fine. Like, it's nothing like crazy, but it is that thing of like, if you enjoy these characters, it's just more of these characters with banter. It's all the same voice actors. I would say it's like 70% voice acted compared to 30% just like clicking through text boxes. So which is pretty decent amount of voice acting in the game. And there is a lot of text and a lot of talking. Like, it's a Persona game. It's still got all of that going for it. Like, I reckon I've probably sat through more cutscenes and talking than I have actually played the game, which adds up, Gameplay itself is a turn-based tactics game, very similar in the vein of more recent successes on the Switch, like Mario Rabbids games, I would say. Similar sort of thing. You're not locked into a grid-based, like, as you move. No, you lock into a grid when you like click to do an action, like there is a grid there, but when it's your character's turn, you just sort of move around with the left stick until you choose where you want to get behind cover or attack or whatever. Like, you can move freely, get behind, walk up to behind a piece of cover. Your character will automatically get in behind cover if they're behind it when your turn ends. You can press a button to do a gun attack like you would in the game. You can press another button to use one of your personas. Of course, you've got a certain amount of mana, so you can't like spam persona attacks. Different personas are either AoE damage or singular attacks, all that pretty straightforward stuff. You can get behind a character and do a melee attack to do that. There's not really a lot of tactics to it though, which I guess might be a thing. Like, I don't mind having this very rather chill tactics Persona game where I'm just like, it's fine, like I'm enjoying it, but it's not super hard. I'm just playing it because I enjoy these world and these characters, which makes it really good for the Switch, I guess, because it's more of a chill. I'm just playing on normal, but so far there's no. I feel like they've got rid of all of the elemental weaknesses and buffs and all that sort of stuff. Like, it just boils it down to pretty bare bone basics. What you more or less want to do is, if you queue up and you can get to the right angle of an enemy, and I swear sometimes there's just a flip of a coin, but like, if you highlight, if there's 4 enemies in front of you, and even if you like bring up the action to do a gun attack that turn, you can like highlight every enemy, and maybe one of them says you'll get a one more action. It's like, well, that's the one you want to shoot, because then you'll get another turn. And then maybe next turn you can shoot someone else and get one more. Like, the game is definitely built around that one more, which is similar to the main game, where if you could chain one more and your enemies never got a chance to fight back, you would just spam attacks until you eventually won, which is in line with it. And also, if you knock down a character Like if you attack them, they get knocked to the ground. If you can position the other characters, of which the maximum of 3 in a field at a time, if you can position them where they're all like sort of surround them, you can do not like a baton pass attack from the main game, but like a team attack where you like do a bunch of like AoE damage, and it's got like a cool like Persona graphic sort of thing that happens, and like all the stuff you'd expect from Persona 5 games. So I'm enjoying it.
Does it still have, like, when you say persona attacks, does each character just have set personas that they have for the entire game, or is there a capture? Like, is there like the same kind of pick and choose your personas and capture what you want?
They all start with the normal ones, and then you quickly unlock the ability to fuse personas and unlock some off, and all that typical sort of stuff. And you can change them up and whatever else, which is cool. So. Yeah, I feel like it's a thing of, hey, do you like Persona 5? Yes. Do you like Tactics games? Not really. Well, that's fine. You still like Persona 5, so play this. You know, it's like it's definitely not like a, hey, do you love Tactics games? Then this is the one that'll get you into Persona. It's just if you like Persona, you'll probably like this. So keen to play more, but like it's definitely not, it's not Persona 5 again. It's not, the story in the gameplay is not up to anywhere near that caliber. Let's move into some quality critics stuff from Ash, because I'm done talking now. Let's hit me with Super Mario RPG first.
Yeah, Super Mario RPG got an 8.5. The quality critics all enjoyed the remake with the beautiful recreation of the original game, faithful to a fault, with most of the changes being in the interest of the player's experience, like auto-collecting items, new triple attacks, and generally just stuff that made the game a little bit shorter. The art design and the remastered score done by original composer Yoko Shimomura were praised, as was the story, where a few critics found to be still incredibly funny. Interestingly, there was some disagreement on how difficult the game was, with some finding it to be a tough time, while others found it an easy experience, although there does the introduction of a breezy difficulty option should not assuage anybody from picking up the game. So generally pretty positive for a game that I feel like most people never played, just because it was never released here in Australia on the SNES.
No, I'm super keen to start, like, to get into this soon, especially because never had a chance to play it, but I remember, and I think I've mentioned this before on podcasts, there was a stage in my life where I printed out the Wikipedia pages for all of the Square and Squaresoft and all that sort of stuff. Yes, I've told this story somewhere, and I printed all these pages out, every single Wikipedia page, like hundreds of pages, made them all into books, and I was reading them at night. And I remember reading about this game and thinking it sounded like the craziest shit ever, because this is before Square Enix. This is when it was just Square. So, super keen to get into it.
Yeah. Looks really good from all the trailers and everything. So, just a piece of a weird, odd left field game from the Mario franchise that does also have a lot of weird games, but this seems to be especially.
All right,
the game kicks off with a giant sentient sword destroying Bowser's castle.
As all good RPGs
as you do.
All right, take me back in the other direction for your next quality critics.
What?
What's your other quality critics?
Well, I haven't finished the article, but Persona 5 Tactica got a 7.5 out of 10 from the critics. Generally, it's a fine game. Some people found it to be quite easy. I don't know if you've found that to be an issue.
That's what I just said. Yeah. Quite easy.
And then especially towards the end, getting a bit repetitive in large playthroughs and that kind of stuff. So it's a fine game.
7.5 is that sounds about right where I'm at for that game.
Yeah.
All right, preview article shoutouts. 2 reviews went up this week from Will. The first one, I got to be completely honest. I messaged him after posting his review. I was like, this game sounds really fucking good. For some reason, I swear I'd never heard this. But then when I watched the trailer, I was like, wait, I had seen the trailer for this. And I was like, hold on, I really like this developer. I love their last game. So why the fuck haven't I? Anyway, so American Arcadia, he gave a 9 out of 10. So this is, I just want to read a synopsis for this because it's fucking great synopsis. America Arcadia is a cinematic puzzle game that combines a 2.5D platform and first-person game to tell a tale of a thrilling escape, experience the extraordinary story of Trevor, an average man escaping the world's most popular reality TV show. So basically, even though he says in his review, it's, like, it's not the Truman Show, but, like everyone's going to make the Truman Show reference thing anyway. So, he says, I largely do not have a lot to say about American Arcadia other than it's excellent. Out of the Blue Games has served up a well-rounded narrative puzzle adventure that largely succeeds in all areas. The puzzles are engaging and never obnoxious. Its narrative is thoughtful, complex, and superbly acted. So, again, they use the same voice cast that they used for Call of the Sea, which are basically the same voice cast. Yuri Lowenthal, Sissy Jones, and then Krizia Badjos is the new person here, but the other two were the main stars of that game, which I really, really liked. So, yeah, I've added this to my list of, whoops. I probably should have been paying more attention to that, but because I didn't even have this on my list, and then Will was like, I would like to review this game. I was like, whatever, dude. Don't know what that is, but
no, yeah, I remember. I think it was at Tribeca Film Festival last year, and like
it was, yeah.
It got super, looked super fantastic. Was very excited for it, and then now I'm just super surprised it finally came out.
Yeah, it seemed to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it felt like it came out of nowhere, which is probably not a great sign. Like you would have, it's not like we have had any shortage of showcases this year, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds fantastic. So keen to check it out when time
next
is
year.
available.
To be honest, it's not this year. And another review post was for Gunhead, which he gave a 6.5. So this is a game, honestly, where a code popped up somewhere, and I was like, this looks like a game you'd probably like. And he was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it. Because you have a bunch of, it's just a first-person shooter where you have a bunch of guns.
Is one of them your head?
Yeah, one of them's your head. And I know he's like he's reviewed those serious Sam games for us and shit before. So I was like, I feel like this probably up Will's alley. He said, Gunhead is a simple and effective game that never seeks to be an overwhelming experience. It mostly achieves its goals, offering a pirate mech, roguelike adventure, raiding derelict spaceships for the booty and combating the obstacles and enemies along the way. Though the game is not without some small design hiccups that detract from most fun of most of runs. So yeah, it seems like it's a bit of fun, but nothing to blow your mind away. But yeah, read both of Will's reviews up on explosionnote.com and the show notes, of course. All right, let's get into it then. Game Awards. Nominees. All dropped. Everyone lost their shit. I'm going to read backwards through the list here. I'm going to skip all the... Do we care about the esports awards? Kieran, do you even care about the esports awards this year?
Not particularly.
Yeah, sorry.
It's just going to be, as always, it's going to probably be a League of Legends or maybe a CSGO. And yeah, not that I care enough about.
I saw somebody upset that one of the coaches didn't actually coach this year who got nominated.
Oh, really? I did not see that. You have seen that. You have seen an esports story more than I have. Ashley Hobley, I have not seen this.
Well, times are changing, yeah. I'm going to start at the bottom here then. Content Creator of the Year. So I don't know who 4 out of 5 of these people are, to be honest. So tell me if you know who any of these people are. Okay. Iron Mouse.
I know Tungsten Rat, yeah.
I'm sorry, is that a joke or is that actually
that's a bit? It's fine. No, yes, I do know Iron Mouse. Yeah.
Okay. Quackity?
I know Quackity, yeah.
Spreen?
No, not a clue.
Cypher PK?
Yes.
Do you know the YouTube channel People Make Games?
No.
See, that's the problem. So
I don't know that. I know people who do make games. That's specific.
So, in my opinion, People Make Games should, if they don't win this award, I'm going to be super pissed off. They are and have been one of the best YouTube channels of this year. They have put up documentaries. They do video game documentaries. And their stuff, they have been killing it this year. I mean, they've been around for years. And I've been subscribed to their channel for years, but I don't know, like 4 or 5 years, however old their channel is. But they made one start of the year, Ukraine, like what's happening there. They did a really good one about 6 months ago about Disco Elysium. They did one about a year ago that was really, really good about the emotional abuse put off by a bunch of studios, including what was happening with the Florence developer and stuff like that. They did a really good one about like Roblox and like weird child like scandal stuff that happens inside that game, and what's happening there. And then their most recent one was about video game stuff to do with Palestine stuff, and was put together with Timur from GameSpot. Yeah, and that was fantastic as well. So, in my opinion, them being nominated for this award is both dumb, but also like, now that they're here, I'm very much like, well,
yeah.
So
it's
why
dumb
is
because
it-
they're not one person.
They're not a content. Yeah, what like?
Well, they're not. They are technically. I don't know. It's a weird thing. I'm like,
It's a
they
collective.
are a YouTuber, I guess. Of like, I think there's 3 people that work on the channel. I think 3 people. They are.
I've never seen a channel. I've never seen a channel nominated before. I've
Yeah.
only ever seen individuals nominated before.
And that's
Yeah,
fair because all the individuals also have massive teams.
Yeah, a
Generally,
lot of them.
Oh,
do, so.
yes, but the thing is, I guess the individual, like I would say, like Iron Mouse, for example, she is an amazing VTuber that is kind of pushing VTubing forward and bringing it out to a general public, but then also has done an amazing work around. She has an autoimmune disease that's very restrictive to her and very life-threatening to her, and like her charity work and the stuff she's done around that is really, really outstanding, and I think deserves to be rewarded just as much as making documentaries as a and is for a channel.
Okay, not to like. So I'm pretty sure People Make Games have raised at this point maybe $1 million for Ukraine and Palestine between the 2 different videos.
I don't want to get like.
that's we
I'm
don't
not
want
gonna.
to.
I'm not gonna try and like.
measuring.
I'm not going to go to a dick measuring competition because but
I'm just saying,
It's-
if you want to be like they're better than just making documentaries, like
they are. That was crude of me to state, but I think I would be open to either of them winning, but I think I don't know. It just feels a bit odd having a channel here. That's like a channel that is a wider range of personalities.
I agree because I think it's very weird. When I saw him in this list, I was like, okay, that's very fucking weird. And the only reason that I'm like, are they just here because they're just here to win it? Like that's like they're just here because they've done a lot of cool things this year. And they don't know where the
Because
fuck.
shouldn't they just have like? Shouldn't they just be another?
Well, there's no
category?
category of like best video game journalist
Well, it shouldn't even.
because that's
be,
what they would win.
No. But like, you should move it. Like, shouldn't there be like a best YouTube channel or best like content group or something like that? Like, because then they could easily go in against 100 Thieves content groups or.
I mean,
anything
that's
like
the problem with the Game Awards because it's this is a supplementary category, really.
Yeah, it is most of the time, and
It doesn't
usually,
really- it-
usually don't care.
Yeah, in an award show that's supposed to focus on video games,
Yeah. Well, I don't want to spend forever.
yeah.
My 2 cents on it is that I would love to see them win because when they put out that the documentary about Palestine a couple weeks ago, I was like, this is so good. Like it's so well put together, and just them to not wait until it's safe to talk about Palestine and like have their opinion, like and just outwardly being like we're very like sound in our like our beliefs and like what the people we've got speaking on this subject matter, and we feel we're just gonna do it. We're gonna do it, and it's such a well put together thing. And between that and the Ukraine one, they've always just like they're just on it. They're just like I don't know. So I hope they win it for that. I feel like they just deserve an award or shout out. All right, so then we got where'd the thing go? I'm skipping most anticipated games because it's a fucking dumb award and I'm sick of it.
Stupid award.
Best adaptation. So, I mean, this is a little bit of a dumb award, but anyway. Castlevania, Nocturne, Gran Turismo, The Last of Us, Super Mario Bros. Movie, Twisted Metal. Mario wins, right? Right? Mario?
No.
No, you don't reckon?
No, I think it's gonna be The Last of Us, right?
You reckon?
Yeah.
I reckon it'll be Mario.
I think Last of Us was. Are you actually doing a bit?
No, not a bit. Like I just.
You're saying
Mario's...
Chris Pratt's going to come out, and
No, I just reckon Mario's more popular. I just reckon.
I think Last of Us made more of an impact outside of the video game community.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to measure the two against each other because obviously one is
incredibly,
a TV show that doesn't have Well, I guess it has viewership numbers, and it shattered viewership numbers for a debuting new series and that kind of stuff. But Mario has the dollar amount next to it, so I mean that's far more impressive. But depends on what they're doing. What's it based? What's the criteria? Is it the critical?
Well, it's just the best
critically, or is it
best video game adaptation? Which straight away I'm like, Gran Turismo is not an adaptation; it's a true story. It's literally in the title. Gran Turismo based on true story.
Yeah. So,
not to get pedantic, but this Game Awards this year are a little bit weird about nominating things that probably shouldn't be nominated. But we'll get to that.
Yeah. Again, it just felt like it deserved to be in that category. Sometimes it's just about feeling.
Fuck off.
Not accurate.
Shut up. Best multiplayer. Shut the fuck up.
Doesn't
best
fit.
Multiplayer presented by Discord. Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Diablo, right?
Probably. I mean, out of those games, in my mind, it's either Diablo or Street Fighter 6. But yeah. I mean, there are two in that are like kind of weird to have in this category. Baldur's Gate and Super Mario Wonder, especially Mario Wonder, where you don't actually play with other people online. It's like, oh, we're gonna make Death Stranding.
It's local co-op, local multiplayer, right? They didn't say best online multiplayer.
I guess. Yeah. But when you think multiplayer, you think online, because that's the way it should be.
I would say yes and no, but I played for that whole game online, and the like asynchronous multiplayer was really good for me. I really enjoyed that aspect.
So Death Stranding should have been nominated for best.
It is very much a Strand game, so yes, it should have been.
Okay.
Best sports racing game: EA Sports FC 24, F1 23, Forza Motorsport, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, The Crew Motorfest.
The Crew Motorfest is just making up numbers.
I mean, is it? They didn't nominate NBA 2K or UFC 5 or like a bunch of different stuff. So
I don't know. That feels
interesting.
It just feels weird. I don't know. I don't even remember that game coming out or seeing anything about that game. When was it released?
A couple months back, I think.
I think of these, the most impressive, I personally think, is EA Sports FC 24.
It'll go to Forza because trying to make Microsoft look better.
Because cars. Got to give Xbox an award somewhere.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Best sim/strategy game: Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, Cities Skylines 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, Pikmin 4. Now, I would give Pikmin 4 all.
I was going to say, you know what? I almost see Pikmin winning this because City Skylines had a terrible launch.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's nominated.
Based
on some of the reactions I've seen.
Company of Heroes is big enough. I think Fire Emblem Engage wasn't that a very watered down in terms of
middling from memory.
Like, yeah, I could easily see Pikmin winning this, which is very fucking weird as a place for Pikmin to pick up a.
I think back on the year, Pikmin 4 is one of my favorite games I've played this year, but I also weirdly think it's like one of the least talked about games of the year.
No, but that's okay. But is it the best sim and strategy game of the year? When you think of Pikmin 4, do you think of sim strategy?
Well, I don't know, man. I had to do some pretty.
Don't say I
had to send my red ones to the right spot and my blue ones to the right spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know about it being here, but I reckon
tax comes.
Out of those ones, it'd be good if Company of Heroes 3 won, just because it is in many ways the truest of the sim strategy games in here. But
yeah,
I could see Pikmin just winning very easily.
Best family game: Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Mario?
Yeah, that's got to be Mario. You can't go past it.
Best fighting game: God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, Pocket Bravery, Street Fighter 6.
I think it's clearly down to 2.
It's down to Street Fighter. I think the fact is, though, that Street Fighter got nominated in Best Multiplayer would suggest that Street Fighter is the better game for this,
I don't know. Mortal Kombat 1 won at the joysticks last week, so...
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's a tight fit. You know?
Yeah,
it just comes down to personal preference, I think.
I definitely feel like Mortal Kombat would be there.
I think Mortal Kombat because I feel like Street Fighter got a bit of bad buzz for its single player mode, which was just an extended tutorial and was a fun addition to the game. But as a whole package, I suspect that might be the thing that sways the judges.
Best RPG: Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, Starfield.
I mean, it's Baldur's Gate 3, but again, it's been interesting to see the discussion around this category in particular.
The fact that Lies of P got put in this and is not in Best Action Adventure Game, I think is fucking crazy.
Yeah. When you're so heavily reliant on action, like
even you know what,
you've got RPG elements.
To be perfectly honest, in here, Final Fantasy 16 should not be in this category.
If no one's going to say it, I was like waiting. I was trying to hold my tongue.
Final Fantasy 16 should also not be in this category. It is an action adventure game. It's not a role playing game.
The RPG in that is the most like just put a like it's as much as an RPG as Marvel Spider-Man 2 is. Like you just open the menu, put a skill point and some shit. Like there's no like whatever. It's mostly an action game. It's an action adventure game. So yeah, surely Baldur's Gate 3, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Best action adventure game: Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and The Legends of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Spider-Man?
I feel like it'll probably be Zelda.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see. Hot take: Zelda wins nothing.
No.
Yep. Zelda wins nothing.
Can you imagine the little Nintendo kids riding?
I'm just saying. I'm saying right
see,
now. I don't think Zelda wins a single award at the Game Awards.
Then
no. Jeff loves to rig it and share the love a little bit.
I think it's most likely to be Zelda, but I could also see Resident Evil 4 winning this, which I know people are complaining about because, like, people are complaining about Resident Evil 4's kind of overall presence in this show, considering it is a fucking remake and a completely. I think this could go anyway, except for maybe I don't think Star Wars has much of a chance, and I think Alan Wake 2 is a dark horse because I don't think it's the action adventure elements of that game that make people.
No, it's
the action
weird shit game.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think it's like Alan Wake could have the potential of winning like narrative if it was going to win anything, but yeah, no, I don't. I don't think. I think Zelda's a good chance here.
Best action game, not to be confused with action adventure game. Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Remnant 2.
Gotta be so cool if Hi-Fi Rush won here, but I think it's just going to be Armored Core. I think Armored Core is just bigger.
Sure it's going to be Armored Core.
Yeah, I feel like it's Armored Core. Best VR AR game: Gran Turismo 7, Humanity, Horizon Colder Mountain, Resident Evil Village VR mode, Synapse. The fact that Resident Evil Village VR mode gets nominated is very funny to me. It's just like a update.
I wouldn't be surprised if one.
Yeah. Nah, Horizon wins here. Horizon just flat out wins. It's already won, didn't it? It won at the joysticks though.
I give a fuck.
I think out of these ones here, it is the most full and most high profile, completely VR related game.
I'm gonna say Humanity. I feel like that's the only one.
That's a good choice as well.
Only one that lists that people who don't care too much about VR would still know that game enough to be like, that Horizon one was whatever, but Humanity, yeah, that one was pretty decent. So I'm going to go that one. I feel like if this was being voted on by like VR hardcore people, they'd probably pick Synapse out of that list. But that's not going to happen. Best mobile game: Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Honkai Star Rail, Hello Kitty Island Adventure, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil. Hello Kitty wins.
No.
Yep.
It'll be
Honkai Star Rail.
No, Hello Kitty wins.
No, you're
Tell me
full
right
of
now.
it.
No.
Honkai Star Rail wins this.
Secret Dark Horse of
Honkai is like this year's what is that other game? The other
Genshin Impact?
Yeah, is this year's Genshin.
Yes. Trust me, I know.
Yeah. Trust me, I know.
My brother loves these games as well.
Really? Oh my gosh.
He plays both.
He's big into the gacha. I religiously stay away from them because you know what I'm like with spending money on games I don't need to. Playing a gacha. Sorry.
I played Genshin Impact for 30 minutes, Dylan. I spent $700,000.
It was bad enough this week playing Magic when the new set dropped. Like, I don't want to be into a game where it's fucking randomized.
Yeah. Luckily, those games are boring. So, yeah, it's probably going to be Honkai, but. No, I'm saying, I'm telling you right. I'll fucking lose my shit if Hello Kitty won. That game's good, by the way. That game is good.
It's not going to matter because it's not going to be presented at stage. So,
yeah, true. Best debut indie game: Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, Viewfinder. So, I guess developers here would be important because it's debut. So, Geometric Interactive, Black Salt Games, Tour de Pizza, Visay Games, and Sad Owl Studios.
I'd love for Dredge to win it, but I think it's probably going to be Cocoon.
Which I'm sort of like, because it's like from one of the main people that did like Inside and shit, but it's just a new studio.
I think Dredge. I think Dredge had such a big release earlier in the year that I think I think it's Dredge.
Yeah, I would say Cocoon wins, but I would love for it to be Dredge. I feel like that would be cooler. So, all right, let's get into it. Best independent game: Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, Viewfinder.
Okay, now, as a collective.
As a collective, I know how we feel about this because, I know how Ash feels because we talked about it a little bit on Monday or Tuesday whenever we recorded. And he's memeing about it, so just ignore everything. But I think the funniest thing ever happened is around early in this week at some stage, Buddy was like, I don't understand. Has anyone, in the chat somewhere, he was like, I don't understand. Has everyone turfed on Dave the Diver? I'm like, no. We all still love Dave the Diver. It's just the nominations.
It's not an independent game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing, I know I've been memeing about it and everything a little bit. But the part of the conversation I've not enjoyed this week is everybody going, you shouldn't punish Dave the Diver and the devs for not being an indie team by not nominating them, by not recognizing them. That is a stupid statement.
That's ridiculous.
It's just they're just in the wrong category.
It's not.
It's just fact. It's just you're not eligible.
It's like It's like. You've got a 100-meter sprint, right? And there's 60 participants. 5 of them are all under 10, and it's an under 10 100-meter sprint. And the last participant is 18. And it's like somebody be like, "No, you got to let the 18-year-old compete. You can't tell them they can't do that." God, that is the most. I hate inclusionism. It's the fucking worst. There are some things you are not included in, and that's completely okay in life.
Yeah. So the thing, this I feel like more so than any year previously, the best indie game award, best independent game award. I've never seen so much discussion around this award as in this week. But I just don't. I personally don't like Dredge. Let's take Dredge. If people were to get into arguments about okay, well, it's published by Team 17, is it or is it not an indie? How much money did they put into it? I feel like there's a little bit of a nuanced conversation to have there around what is the amount of money a publisher can put into a developer to help them finish off the game before they're no longer they should count. That game should count as an independent project. That would be an interesting independent conversation to have around this game award. However, Dave the Diver is just a complete. It's nowhere even close to being in the discussion.
No.
That's the thing that's
unless you consider Nexon an independent indie company.
Because the thing is, it's for people who don't understand, it's not this. So the developer is Mint Rocket, and people are like, okay, well, if Mint Rocket and they're published by Nexon, how's that any different than Black Salt Games and Team 17? It's no. Black Salt Games is not owned by Team 17. They're an independent New Zealand studio, and Team 17 came in and they gave them some money to finish up the project, and then they published the game. Right? That's their story. Now they're still an independent studio in New Zealand. Mint Rocket is Nexon. It is just a studio.
They're a studio founded by Nexon.
Nexon.
Yes.
Who Nexon and multiple people, other studios,
$1 billion company.
The thing that always gets me is the fact that the team themselves are also be like, no, we're not independent.
Yeah.
Like they
so
are.
What happens if they win? Is the most confusing thing to me. Do they just go up and go, "We didn't want this, yeet"? Like I don't understand. Like
No, I think they go up. They maybe
you'd be
acknowledge.
gracious.
I think you go up, you thank people, you maybe acknowledge that you're not independent or you're not. You understand that there's been some discourse about your position. Let's be honest, right? 9 times out of 10, when there is these people that have potential discourse, very conveniently, they just don't win. And it's fine.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's going to win.
Like
I think Sea of Stars is going to win. But
yeah, and if Sea of Stars wins, cool, because that's actually an independent game. Like,
yeah, I think they're probably, now that all the judges had learned that they're not an independent game, I don't think they'll be voting for Dave the Diver. How it got on the ballot, I don't know. It's just, a factor of not doing their due diligence, I think.
Yeah, because, I mean, yeah, it's good. Like, let's look at Annapurna Interactive, right? To me, I'm like, I don't know, Annapurna games, they're nearly at these days in like a AA space. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Well, they're not.
No, because again, they're not owned by a studio. If you're not owned by a studio, you're technically.
It'd be like what's that? Is it? This is where my movie knowledge is. It A24 the publisher?
Yes.
Yes. Let's fucking go. It's like they're getting bigger and bigger, and they're producing more and more stuff. But they're still an independent, right?
Well, they're a movie distributor. So, I mean, the example I brought. So you said A24. So this is the example I gave to Ash on Platt. I said, so there's a movie. It's called Talk to Me. Australian film, horror film. They go out. They make it. Right. So this is Black Salt Games making Dredge. They're making the game off their own. They're making this movie. Talk to Me off the back of their own money. Then A24 buys the film off them to put it into cinemas. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still an indie film.
Yes,
but they're purchased for money.
Yes. Yeah. It's an Australian film released by a US distributor. That doesn't make it a US movie,
Film. Yeah. So Black Salt Games, New Zealand. Team 17, not so much. But still, it's a New Zealand game.
Yeah.
So Annapurna Interactive quite often buys, and as all of their showcases have shown, they work with studios from all over the globe. Like they make that a big part of any of their showcases. So, but that studio, I believe they purchased recently, or before this game came out. I think so. I think that's how that works. So it is like published by them, but I think it's actually their studio now. So I don't know.
But it was released before they bought it, so they were independent at the time of release.
Kieran, what's your definition of an independent game? Because this is what's the boil down? Like,
well, they're a studio that's not receiving, okay, if Xbox comes in and says, "Hey, we want to chuck your game on Game Pass," yada yada yada, they're still an independent game.
Yes, correct. Because Sea of Stars was on PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah. If you're development and you're as a company, you are an independent company. You do not have anybody kind of attached to your company that's overseeing or paying for things. Then you're an indie dev.
So you would consider Larian Studios a indie?
Yes, 100%. I do. Yep. Yeah.
So Baldur's Gate 3 would be an indie game.
Yes, correct. It is an independent game. Yes.
What about when IO Interactive releases the next James Bond game? Is that an independent game?
They don't have. They're not attached to anybody anymore. They're not.
No, they're not. Yeah.
Then yes,
they're
they would be.
Self-publishing.
They're self-publishing. Then yes, they would be.
So
I don't think that
this is where it gets.
No,
into
I agree.
I don't.
But we don't consider it an indie game.
No.
It's just a game made by an independent studio.
Well, the thing is, I think an indie game is very different to an independent studio. I think the term indie has taken on a very different...
Yeah, it's like before PlayStation bought Bungie was all the Destiny 2 DLC. Was that done by an indie studio?
Yeah, like I think but this is the thing where the video game awards, if you look at how they present this award, they use independent and indie as interchangeable.
Yeah, and I feel like after we recorded Plat, I was sitting there like looking at our upcoming awards, trying to work out the best wording for if we do best indie game, right? And I feel like it nearly needs to be something of best independent game by a studio below this much money. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like...
But how do you check that?
That's the problem. That's the problem.
I don't think you even do... I think it's right. No. I just think you...
You just know, though. You just know.
Yeah. Like, I
do
think
you, though? Because apparently a bunch of people didn't realize Dave the Diver was released next.
I will 100% say... If it wasn't for this discourse, I would have been totally comfortable with Dave the Diver being in there. Because I wouldn't have known.
Honestly, I did not know Dave the Diver was released by Nexon at all. Like,
yeah, and the thing is, ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Like, the game's still great. No one's trying to say again. So much of the discourse is now.
It should be. Yeah,
so much discourse is now coming around this game. Not like it's got like such a negative cloud floating over its head now because of this discussion. But it's not think it's a game. It's just it's really the conversation is just around awards and like. It's like if you're going to do a best independent game category at all and you're not going to do it properly, like you're going to use that space to shout out a billion-dollar company and that company itself says, we're not an indie game. It's like, what a waste of a spot.
No, yeah. It's just because obviously these, this is a smaller category that is very, like the nomination in this category like gets a bunch of eyes on your game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like an opportunity to showcase a film or a game that's not normally characterized in that category. It's like if an American film showed up in the best international feature category, you'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah. It's like fucking Inglourious Basterds was nominated because it's got so much German.
Yeah.
All right, this is the other weird one. It was Best Community Support, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, No Man's Sky. Of course, Destiny 2, Bungie, getting a nomination here pretty much the week after they let go so many people. And from my understanding, the Destiny community in general seems to not agree with this award nomination this year. Whereas previous years, they've been pretty happy. This year, not so much. So I know how everyone else's Twitter's been, but I know mine's
it's just awkward. Awkward situation.
I think this is a very interesting award because two of these are best community support that has spawned out of their games coming out initially as hot garbage, and they kind of have had to be good at supporting their community to make the game grow again.
To be fair, No Man's Sky has been on here for like 3 years in a row now.
Yeah,
it's not like it shouldn't be a shock to see it on.
No.
Cyberpunk, different story. But
I think, to me, and this is where this game I think takes a lot of awards this year. I think Larian Studios with Baldur's Gate did an amazing job at communicating with their community and building with their community, not only from our post-release of the game, but pre-release during the early, during its early release windows of how it was bringing in content, of what it was talking about with problems, of how it's interacted and created things. Like I think Larian could very easily take this out, but at the same time, as my bias, I could also very easily see Final Fantasy taking this, because Final Fantasy, actually I don't think Final Fantasy 2, I think they've had a bit of a downturn year in terms of content for Final Fantasy 14. So maybe
they've been overshadowed by 16 a bit this year.
True. And also it's a non-expansion year, so it's like there's very little hype. It's people waiting for next year when Dawn Treader comes out.
Best ongoing game: Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact. Is Cyberpunk 2077 an ongoing game nominee?
No, not at all.
Just because it got one expansion this year?
Just because it got a DLC that... Yeah, no. It's not an ongoing game. Get the fuck out of here. I think it has to get a Fortnite here. I think the stuff that Fortnite's done in the especially last like 6 months.
I mean, the category says outstanding development of an of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Which technically,
it's just
that game is
expansion though. Like,
but it's just
DLC.
I don't. It's All they've done is once again.
I mean, I don't think they're deserving because the game was not great when it came out, and they've just been fixing it for the last 2 years. But
like the 2.0 update was massive, but at the same time, it shouldn't have really been needed for a 2.0 update. Like it's very strange for a game like it would be very strange if The Witcher 3 came out and then it got a 2.0 update that completely changed systems in the game. Like that game.
Or does this just really speak to live service games not being good enough to be considered in this category?
I just feel like if best ongoing game should be something that's consistently updated like every month. It's a live service game.
I think of games with battle passes and seasons and events happening, and like your Fortnites, your Apex Legends,
like just dropping one major update. Like so, you're 1 month out of 12, and you're ongoing. Like
I think the thing
all got snubbed from this category.
Marvel Snap. Yeah, that's correct. Correctamundo.
Yep.
Games for Impact. So this is the one. I can't remember. Do you have the official description in front of you? I don't know.
Not right in front of me.
I'll read out nominees and you can find.
Oh, no, here we go. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. There.
Space for the Unbound, Chance of Sinar, Goodbye Volcano High, Shia, Terra Nil, Venba. The few games I really like in there, my personal pick would actually be a Space for the Unbound, which is a game I really, really liked from this year. But I feel like Goodbye Volcano High will win it.
I don't know. I feel like Chance of Sinar has a pretty good chance. Because that got,
decent reviews, but
good decent reviews.
I'm just going off like
a game about language and that kind of stuff.
A lot of people, I assumed a lot more people played Goodbye Volcano High. Because I don't know if we go over this every year, but in case people forget, the votes are 90% the judges, like the 200 odd places, and 10% your vote by going to the website. So. But I assume I just assume more people would have tried or played Goodbye Volcano High. But all right, innovation in accessibility: Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6. I kind of want to skip the award unless someone has some real point, like shout outs.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I just don't know.
I believe Sony's picked it up every year.
Okay. At this stage, as accessibility gets more and more common, which is a good thing in video games, I think
it's getting harder to judge.
It's getting harder for me who doesn't, I need someone to tell me. Best performance: Ben Starr as Clive Rossfield in Final Fantasy 16, Cameron Monaghan as Cal Kestis in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Idris Elba as Solomon Reed in Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, Melanie LeBird as Sega Anderson in Alan Wake 2, Neil Newborn as Astarion in Baldur's Gate 3, and Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker in Marvel's Spider-Man 2. So Astarion wins, right?
Can I just say, this is a fucking outrage that only one fucking character from Baldur's Gate is on this list.
Well, it'd just be the
fucking
whole cast, wouldn't it?
Outrage.
I also think, hot take, I still haven't finished the game, but I don't know if Yuri would be the Spider-Man I'd pick.
I think there is only one aspect, only one section in Spider-Man 2 where I was blown away by Yuri's performance. I don't know his name, but I think Miles...
Jeddah?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Miles' voice actor had a much better performance throughout Spider-Man 2.
I think
Peter's.
Yuri gives a lot more range. Just
nothing against Yuri. I just think that
you just had a preference.
I don't think anything he did as his performance touched what he did during Spider-Man 1. I think Spider-Man 1 was such an emotional roller coaster, and because the game was so focused on him, it kind of gave him the room to do that. I feel like this, having two protagonists, very much split that attention away from him.
For the better of the game.
yes, for the better of the game. Correct.
Yes. But my gut says Ben Starr. Just the buzz around his performance in Final Fantasy. Yeah.
A character that was named Clive, which I still is the most fucking ridiculous.
Again, he wanted the joysticks. I feel like,
get over the joysticks.
He's a known gamer. I think, they want to get him on stage.
I do think
it's clearly between those two.
I think Asterion, just because of I think his performance is more layered and has more depth than Clive in Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
16.
but you know, everybody who played Final Fantasy 16 saw Clive's performance. Not everybody who played Baldur's Gate 3 saw Astarion's performance.
So his performance should be discounted because it's not as popular?
No, I'm just saying, just numbers-wise. It's just, you know, a percentage of the people who played Baldur's Gate did not see the full range of his performance. So they would.
You could say, but the thing is, right? How many people that started Final Fantasy 16 didn't only saw the start of Final Fantasy 16? You can say the same thing for Baldur's Gate, but if I compared,
I assume everybody who's voting on this category has done a playthrough of each game.
No.
No, sure.
no,
no fucking way.
Incorrect.
Unrealistic,
No.
but that's where I'm going for.
No, that's no way. No.
I mean, the judging.
With your mentality, right? They should have played Baldur's Gate enough that they've seen Astarion's full range. They haven't just missed his section.
I think one playthrough was fair.
One playthrough where they've seen his representation within the game. Yes.
All right, best audio design: Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4. Don't know.
I think it would
That's
make
fair.
sense for Hi-Fi Rush to win.
Yeah.
I
maybe.
think
Or
considering how
Alan Wake 2.
I can't comment on
Yeah.
what's the audio like in Alan Wake 2,
Because of
Dylan,
weird stuff.
in the 2 hours you played of it.
You played 2 hours?
No, in the 2 hours you played.
Didn't you
of
play
it.
2 hours?
You
I
played
haven't
like 2 hours,
started
right?
it at all.
You haven't started it at all.
No, I'm still working my way through Spider-Man, man.
Holy, you fucking hell! What
So
do you
he's
have?
playing
Like,
the AAA game instead of the AA game.
do you have like 25 minutes a week to play AAA games, and then everything else is indie?
I have about 25 minutes a week to play video games.
Fucking hell!
All I do on my days off is sitting working on the website. I know what you're talking about. People at work think I spend my days off playing video games. I was like, no.
You need to schedule yourself some
I've-
more time to rest and to play video games.
That's why he wants to be streaming next year.
That's
Right, when I make the website a success and I can pay people to do the boring stuff, then sure. Best score and music: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
it goes between Zelda and Baldur's Gate here, and
I'm gonna say
it
Baldur's Gate.
better be fucking Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Zelda rests on Breath of the Wild's previous score, whereas Baldur's Gate is all new and fresh stuff.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate. Best art direction: Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Liza P, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I'm gonna say Alan Wake 2. Having not played it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't love there's nothing about Zelda's art direction that makes me
Again, it's like building on the last game.
like
Even more heavily.
and also
I could even see Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Yeah,
Because it is such a departure
Okay.
from the
that game
I don't
goes
know.
wild.
style.
I also think Hi-Fi Rush has a chance. Like it has such a
I mean, I don't disagree that the Hi-Fi Rush has good art direction, but I just don't feel like enough people would have played it.
that's fair.
Is the problem. Best narrative: Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Sorry, the fact that get the fuck out of here, Phantom Liberty. Yes, you're a DLC. Yes, you got released this year. Get the fuck out of here. What the actual fucking what? It's like a 10-hour DLC compared to the fucking rest of these, which are full-fledged games.
What, 10 hours of a game isn't a game?
No, when it's a fucking DLC and it's not like an entire fucking. Fuck me.
I mean, surely it's better than Final Fantasy 16.
Well, I think it's down to 2, clearly.
Definitely.
Baldur's
Alan Wake 2 or
Gate.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just comes down to, are we talking the narrative, the singular narrative of a game as its plot? Or are we talking about narrative as all the little stories that you tell along the way?
That one is narrative, yes.
I mean, they're it's both technically.
I mean, narrative and story are different, so.
I mean, I feel like it's going to be Baldur's Gate.
I would say Baldur's Gate, yeah, surely. And then
again, we haven't played Alan Wake 2. So.
No, and we never will. Game of the year.
Game direction.
Oh, I missed one. Sorry, game direction. Alan Wake 2. I think it's just because the first 3 games looked exactly the same. No, hold on. Is the whole list the same? The whole list is basically the same.
Except for
best game direction, except for one thing. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
I think this depends on how you look at the game direction.
I think it's either Baldur's Gate or Alan Wake.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. I think game direction for Zelda.
Or maybe they give it to Zelda here.
No.
Because I think the game direction around Zelda, around the fact that you have a system where players can achieve whatever the fuck they want to achieve your goals, I think makes game direction very broad and very complicated.
No, I get it, but also I'm like, it's just I feel like as good as and as cool as like the building upon at that game is, the direction is still let's take Breath of the Wild but do it like better. That's like the game direction.
Okay, if it's down to
Can't
Alan
argue
Wake,
with do it whether it did that or not.
If it's down to Alan Wake and Baldur's Gate, I don't think Alan Wake comes anywhere close to the game direction that would be involved in fucking Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate's insane in terms
of... But the problem is with the Game Awards compared to other award shows I watch, like the Oscars and stuff, the Game Awards never likes to do sweeps. You know, so
the thing is, right?
Baldur's Gate's winning all these awards.
That should not be a fucking sentence, Dylan.
No, it should. Like, if the game is the best of all categories, then it's the best of all categories. Like,
but that's the thing, right? It shouldn't. There should be nobody that is able to go, "Oh, this thing's sweeping. Now we'll give it to something else." Like that should not be a mechanism in any fucking award show ever.
No, I agree. I feel like you should just look at each category and you just pick the best one. And if it happens to be the same game winning in multiple categories, fine. Is what it is. You know, but I feel like that's the only thing where I'm like, okay, the Game Awards sort of has a habit of not playing in that direction. And as we get into Game of the Year, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win Game of the Year. So then it just makes me go, well, they never do sweep. So how's it win Best Narrative? How's it win Best Game Direction?
Well, isn't it the last 3 years the game that's won Best Narrative has also won Game of the Year?
I don't know. I don't
because I know last year God of War won Best Narrative.
No, last year Elden Ring won.
Elden Ring, and it lost a lot of the awards leading up to that.
Okay, that's dumb either way. But
Baldur's Gate,
I would.
Yeah, I think
for me it's Baldur's Gate for like everything for these top 3. Like it's just, I don't. How do you feel about the discourse? And I know we don't really talk about it on the show because of everything, of all the fucking hogwash that's involved with it. But like, do you think Hogwarts Legacy is not included in this list because not mainly just because of the discourse around Hogwarts and the Harry Potter franchise, but also because of where Hogwarts Legacy was released?
No, I think that game's not included because it was ultimately mediocre as fuck and completely forgot about.
I don't think I would classify it as mediocre as fuck, but it was not top tier.
Where would you put this
clearly
game?
Not in the top 6.
Where would you put that game? It's the only person who's actually played it, I think, right?
I haven't played it.
No, Kieran played it.
I played it.
Did he?
Yeah, I played bits and pieces of it. I never got finished it.
What a shocking revelation.
I know.
Why did you never talk about it on the podcast?
I made a thing about it. On the podcast, I said, I will not talk about it here or bring any kind of fucking...
Well, we're not talking about it. We're just talking about where you'd rate
No.
you put it on the list.
I think the interesting decision and conversation...
If you're saying it's being missed, like, where's it being missed?
I don't think it's been... I'm not saying that it's been missed. It's
you don't personally think it's missed?
No, not personally. I've just seen the discourse. It's just the conversation around Hogwarts Legacy versus the spot that's currently being taken by Resident Evil 4. Was Resident Evil 4 enough of a remake in a game to be featured in Game of the Year where there are other, where
why does it have to be Hogwarts?
It doesn't have to be Hogwarts. It could be something else. I'm all for...
Like Starfield.
Yeah, I'm all for... Starfield could have been there over Resident Evil 4. Like Resident Evil 4 was an amazing remake. I fucking reviewed it, but I don't think it should be in terms of for the Game Awards. I don't think it should be here. In say my personal top 10 or anybody's personal top 10, should definitely have a chance of being here. But when we're talking about
Dave the Diver,
it could have been Dave the Diver, 100%.
Should have been Dave the Diver.
I think when you're talking about the Game Awards, where it's the top 6 games for the year, I don't think Resident Evil 4 should be there.
Yeah.
I mean, it is one of the highest reviewed games of the year. And, you know, I feel like there is also a tendency to have at least one horror game in the top 6 nominees.
What's Alan Wake?
It's going to say it's in there, right? It's Alan Wake.
I think Alan Wake's more of a horror game.
Alan Wake is more scarier than fucking Resident Evil 4 is. And actually, Hobley, you could play Resident Evil 4 and it's not fucking scary. It is an action. It is like the most action movie shit in the world.
Do you say so?
Now, if they had a PAX this past year, he might have checked it out.
He would have been there.
He would have been there. He would have been first in line, I reckon.
Yeah. With the whole Hogwarts thing, obviously it's a massive franchise, so people, you know, who love that franchise, wanted to see it being recognized and that kind of stuff. But, you know, there are a lot of games that did not make the list. Like, you know, I'm trying to look what the Open Critic score was for the game. Not coming up. Hogwarts Legacy. It ended up with 84 critic score, which would make it somewhere in the 60s.
Yeah.
On Open Critic, or like 50s on Open Critic.
Yeah.
So there's like 50 plus games that statistically are considered better than it.
Yeah, I started scrolling down the Metacritic list of the best games of the year, and I couldn't see it in the first few pages. Oh, it's number 61. 61. So 60. There's actually exactly 60.
But Dylan, there is a bias against the game, and a bunch of people reviewed it down.
What number is Resident Evil 4?
On Open Critic, it is sitting at number 5 with a 92%.
There you go.
So
yeah, so for people who since I got the top rated games on Metacritic this year: Baldur's Gate 3, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Metroid Prime Remastered, The Witcher 3 Game of the Year Edition on Xbox Series S for some reason, Alan Wake 2, Tetris Effect because that just came to whatever release new version that is, Resident Evil 4.
That's later than 5 then, right?
It's number 7.
Number 7, okay.
Yeah. Number 8, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Number 9, Cocoon. Number 10 is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 something. Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, Cyberpunk DLC thing, Turbo Overkill, Slay the Princess, Sea of Stars, Rogue Legacy 2, Ghost Trick something or other, whatever the subtitle of that game is, Moss Book 2 because it came to PSVR 2 this year, Videoverse, Jack John, whatever that is, Dave the Diver, number 22, Persona 4 Golden because they got the re-releases on PC and whatever, and then Marvel Spider-Man 2 is there's your first page of top 24. So there you go. All right, well that's it. Game Awards is in a couple of weeks. It's on what day? December 9th or something, I think, right?
Yeah, not that far away.
There you go.
Really,
not that far away.
3 weeks.
So. As always, I understand people don't really care for it, but it is still one of the biggest days / nights, whatever, of the year. So,
you know what? They should just add some more categories. I mean, they're not going to present them anyway, so why not?
Now, let me cut to Sydney Goodman to hand out one award while we flash 6 different ones on the screen that we handed out magically in the background.
Yeah.
And here's a trailer for Death Stranding 2.
A 20-minute trailer.
Death Stranding is definitely going to be on the show.
Yeah. Let's do some predictions in a week or so. So, look forward to that. Not this week.
Everything goes black.
Here we go. This is the year. It's happening. Let's know your thoughts on anything we discussed this week, including, of course, the Game Award nominees. How you feel about Dave Diver? Is it Diver? I keep saying it that way for some reason. Is it a indie game? If you say yes, you are straight up wrong. It is not up for discussion.
It's just factual.
It's just factual. Like, I'm so sick of this. It's not a fucking discussion point. It's just a fucking fact. Fuck off. You can argue with me about that if you like, though. ExplosionNetwork.com/Twitter takes you to our X pages. ExplosionNetwork.com/Discord takes you to our Discord page. If you like the show and thought it was worth $1 and or want to support ExplosionNetwork.com and the podcast we do, ExplosionNetwork.com/Discord, /support takes you to our Ko-fi page. And until next week, same time, same couch. Goodbye.